let's get cooking with another Keeb stream. I need to open my cup. What do we got here? Hello, Tyler. Horatio. Welcome, welcome. Frederick. Excellent. Gang's all here. Hello, Yappa. Welcome. Make sure. Does the stream seem okay? Twitch is telling me it's unstable. It's not the first time I've been told I'm unstable, but this is the most recent. Looks fine? Okay. The reason it gave, when I got a little tooltip, said average stream bitrate too high, which sounds like it's too much of a good thing. Seems good? Okay, thank you for confirming. I have it prioritized on my network, so we'll see how that goes. Yes, for anyone who doesn't know, how could you not? O-Type is Horatio, the designer of the Keycaps set that we're going to be using today. Abstract, which I have tucked right over here. This is the latest from the Key Machine, which is a... Thank you for the follow, Horatio. I'm honored. The latest from the Key Machine, which is kind of a side venture of NovelKeys, where they do fun kind of special projects. They're often in-stock drops that are kind of teased out ahead of time. They've mostly done keycap sets. They've also done a keyboard with a GMK 2048 extended version of a key cult. But I've gotten a few of the key sets, and this is the latest one. Just ordered it last week. And I knew immediately what I would want to do with it. I had an idea that it would work out really well on my class 0413. But just look at this. Like, the box art. You know, not all box art is created equal, let's just say. But Horatio is such a world-class designer. It's just so beautiful. An exploration of abstraction through minimalistic geometric shapes combined with a contemporary mix of colors for a fun, playful palette. This keycap set is filled with nuggets of fun subliminal messages, hidden meanings, and Easter eggs. Can you spot them all? And the end says, I don't want to rattle around too much. The longer you look at an object, the more abstract it becomes, and ironically, the more real. The truly modern artist is aware of abstraction in an emotion of beauty. Very fun. I got number 6 out of 250, which was cool. I didn't think I was that fast, but this really hit a chord with a lot of people, I feel like. And it goes with a lot of stuff, I think, with all the different colors that are used, and kind of the base color. I think it goes well with a lot of stuff. So we're going to use this. I think I'll also pull out the NK Classic Blues that I haven't used yet. Yeah, I was quick. I didn't know that I was going to be that quick. For a while, people were in the Key Machine channel on the NovelKeys Discord wondering who had gotten number 1, and then it finally showed up. But it's fun. A fun little thing to see. I hadn't... I think the last Key Machine thing that I got was Chladni, maybe? Let me look at their backlog. The Key Machine. And let me also reformat my browser window here. So here it is. Take a quick peek at it here. See, oh, sorry, I missed some chat. They sell them in order. Yeah, so it's whatever order the orders come in, is they go out sequentially. So it isn't really tied to order number per se, because some people were trying to like figure out a formula for what set they would get. Yeah, didn't realize it was Key Machine. So like with some of the more experimental Key Machine stuff, like they're often a larger base. Like look at this base kit. Like there were some people getting a little butthurt about the price I had heard, because I don't even remember what it is. 185. But this is like a normal base kit, plus you're getting a bunch of novelties kind of thrown in for free. So it's like, this is not outrageous. And it's fun because like it's a mix of double shot, fully UV print, and then double shot with UV print. So like anything that's just a single color is double shot. So like all of this row of stuff, that's all double shot. Like those were new molds that were made. Anything with more than one color on it, like these over here, or like the ISO enter, the enter and ISO enters are fully UV printed. And then like the alphas are your normal double shot with the sub legends UV printed. So it's pretty cool. Wish was in the hobby for Chladni. It's pretty dope. Yeah, it was like, yeah, I mean, it was a similar price, but like you got so many novelties with it because you got like all those different sand patterns for like XT columns and all sorts of stuff like it. The Chladni novelties were double shot as well. I need to pull the Chladni back out. That lived on my class 413 for a while as well, and then it lived on the Navi because I actually made the little screen in the corner like run through a bunch of like a video of those sand patterns changing. I need to rebuild the Navi. It's on the list to try to make it sound a little bit better, but maybe we'll throw Chladni back on there when we do. Anyway, super cool set. We're gonna use it. The release history. So the last one was the number 165. Then they had Rewind, which I didn't get, which I kind of regret. But I didn't have the budget at the time, which was all like VHS kind of blockbuster themed. Chladni, and then Deep Field, which was a Bub set, which I also did not get. But yeah, this is only their fifth release, and they don't start teasing. Whoops, we don't need to see that. Be gone. They don't start teasing the next one until the previous one is sold out. So it has to wait the full run until whatever it was in that release is gone, and then they'll start teasing whatever the next thing is. So it's fun. They're usually a little funkier, a little more out there. Something that has already been purchased at a certain, like I think they're normally like 250, and then they just drop them in stock and wait till they sell out. So nothing has ever sold out immediately on the Key Machine, which is also kind of nice. So it gives you some time. The draw is really like, there are some people who are chasing those low order numbers. But anyway, cool stuff. Horatio's great. He was the one who created GMK Tribal as well, if you're not familiar with that. And I think you're working on a new PBS set, right? PBS, I want to say Vibes? Is it Vibes? Feel free to plug whatever you want in the chat, Horatio, of projects you're working on. Because we got some switches to take out. So I have it propped up on a box right now so I can actually lift it up here without destroying myself. Actually, hold on, I got a little notification here. Oh, thanks for the shout out in the Key Machine channel, Ratio. I didn't know if that was okay to do or not, because there isn't really a self-promo channel in there or anything. So thank you for doing that. Okay. Keyboard. Oh. Good thing it wasn't self-promo. Yeah, exactly. If it's second-person promo, it's fine. Ugh. I'm glad I don't have my camera attached to the desk anymore, because this thing would be a beast. PBS vibes? I thought so, which looks awesome. And you can get away with a lot of that cool, some of that cool color patterning stuff you're doing, because it's all, like, PBS is entirely dye sub, right? Like, they've not made any double shot molds for PBS. So it's like a completely free canvas. So yeah, this is the class 0413 from It's got the buzzer, it's got the solenoid, which we may turn on at some point. But it's just a gorgeous board. It's got the fun, like, brass engraved placard on the back with the project name, the date when it was released, case material, manufacturer stuff. This one is number 172. I don't know how many they made. But I originally bought this with the mind of using Expo on it, which I did for a time, because I've got this nice brown, as well as kind of a more goldish inner frame. But then I also got, of course, knowing me, some beautiful yellow frames. And it came in multiple layouts. So we've got this kind of layout where you've got the XT columns, kind of a 60%, and then the numpad. So I have that in yellow, but they also released other, like, you could do Southpaw as well. That required a different chassis though. But they've also got, hello Reggie! Thank you for the follow. If you don't know, let me see if I can actually remember how to do this. I think we do... How do I spell this? Nope, that wasn't it. It was supposed to do a shout out, I think. But Reggie, who have seen a lot, especially tuning into NovelKeys streams and stuff, but is also a very accomplished keycap puller creator and makes these beautiful, like, wood and resin keycap pullers. I especially have been admiring Jay's on the Prototypist streams recently. So yeah, give him a follow and what he's got going on. They're pretty cool. Accomplished is doing some very... Listen, you've made keycap pullers, and that's more than I've done. I would say that that's an accomplishment. But they also offered this layout, which is pretty funky because it adds in essentially the arrow cluster that you can kind of have here that kind of does a little snaky bit around and encroaches into the numpad area. Yeah. It is the guy. Horatio's here. So we can decide what kind of layout we want, if we want to do one of those. I've used them both at different times, but first we have to get in here and excavate these switches. And then change the top piece. I haven't opened this since I built it the first time. So, we are gonna do a little bit of keyboard archaeology and see what we find. I don't really remember. I know there's some gaskets that go in here, and it was a pretty tight fit the last time I built this. And there's also potentially a ribbon cable crushed with the Dickens crushed out of it in there as well. So we're gonna see. Arrows are for the weak. XT column and full size 0 on the numpad. Okay, you got it. You were the first to have an opinion. You get it. I would have run a poll, but then Masters would have been the only one who voted in it. So fair enough. We'll go with the full, this same layout. We'll just change it out for the yellow, which I think will look really good with the keycaps. And then we'll also open up the keycaps for the first time and see how it is. So first off, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. Get my little screw dragon down here. I don't need those yet. You would have voted for what Reggie says? I mean, wouldn't we all? Are you going to be at the NovelKeys meetup, Reggie? I finally get to go to a meetup for the first time, and it's the NovelKeys one. So I'm excited to finally meet people. Oops, I'm actually sliding my desk pad a little bit with that. You'll be there? Sweet. I want to buy a keycap puller from you. If you'll have them. If you have any yellow ones. I don't know if you take commissions, but if you have any yellow ones. Yellowish. Either wood or resin, I would take it off your hands. Oh, there you go. I didn't even realize you were going to ask that. I was looking down. I will be in Morgantown for sure. I'm flying into Pittsburgh, and then I'm going to drive down from there. That's the plan anyway. Then the following week is when I have my keyboard event here in West Michigan that I'm going to host. That's very brief, but it'll be a lot of fun. We actually just got in the keyboard for that. The classic DKL we're going to build is in a box over there. All right, so how did this work? Oh, there's another one on the sides. I missed that one. Who's flying out for us? It's a great question. I mean, eventually maybe we can turn this into some sort of a real meetup, a serious meetup. Oh, I missed another one. These little buggers are hiding, blending in with the brown top frame. Should be able to cobble a yellow option together for you, of yellow black when it's already done. Ooh, very cool. Awesome. There we go. Now we got some frame movement. There it is. Oh yeah, that's what I had to do with the ribbon cable. So you see it was a little bit too long. So I kind of had to fold it and tuck it under there a little bit when I built this. 1984 to 1987. And there's like the solenoid and the buzzer and all that nonsense up in there. I'm gonna try to bring out like 15-inch to hopefully sell on site at a discount. Sweet. Is this gonna be, are you gonna be like tabling, or is this gonna be more on this like a trench coat kind of on the sly situation? Hey, you wanna pull some keycaps? Be right back. Excellent. See you soon, Frederick. All right, so there's the gaskets, and I had to wedge them in pretty tight, if I recall, to get it to stay. So maybe let's release the ribbon cable first. Need to pull it out, I think. No. No, there should be enough slack. There we go. Just gotta kind of pull it a little bit. There it is. That one popped off a bit. And then, so it kind of got creased. It still worked, but I did have to tuck it in there a bit weirdly. And there's one of my hairs taking a free ride. I always check people into the event, so I'll abuse that power to shield my wear as people enter. I like it. I mean, that, if anything, I feel like using your power to abuse your own personal gain is the American way. So, it's very timely. No official vendor table. That's a lot of hassle, though, I imagine. Like having to man a table all day. You've earned your keep. Let's see. I don't remember if there's anything out of the phone. Oh, yeah, there's the weight. So not only, you know, the solid aluminum case, but then you got this solid, gigantic brass weight in the bottom. Like, this is as bigger than some of my keyboards entirely, just the weight. So, We shall see. Actually, I'm curious. Let's take out the bottom foam. I don't think, looking at it, that I ever like smash the hot swap sockets into it or anything. So I wonder, because with these switches are going to be a little bit deeper. So I don't know if we may want all of that sound dampening. So let's try without for now. Yeah, that's huge. Massive. And this thing, like, I don't have a scale with me. I have a postal scale that I sometimes use when I mail stuff, but it's not in here right now. But yeah, I don't even want to contemplate how much this thing is. Not sure if you saw Functional's recent post where they made the NovelKeys case out of recycled skateboards. I did not. Post on Insta? Oh. Handcrafted gummy O-ring mount boards that given made from genuine broken skateboards and epoxy. Very limited units. That is pretty cool. Oh, even the little weight inside. Huh. Interesting. That's really cool. I've been wary of doing anything with wood as far as like keyboard components go. Just because I know that can be difficult to deal with. Depending on how it's made. In terms of like temperature changes and warping and all that kind of stuff. I know they did a good job with the mode bits that used it, but let's see. I have not tried to do a fully wooden keyboard or anything. Hit me up. I'm gonna send me some leftover skateboard stock to make folders. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, I'm just imagining how that would look either like lengthwise with the strata or like stacked. So is it already like all like pre-glued together basically into like a stack, or how does that work? I'm not buying no wood living in Michigan with no central air. Yeah. I feel like you need to have a dehumidifier running in your room 24/7. We'll use this one. It's a little easier. So these are lubed oak switches that we'll take out for now. This is the last gasp of lubed, at least in my involvement with them. But they did actually send them to me. But it was like right when things were turning. Well, I guess things were bad for a bit, but I mean, when it became more apparent to the public at large that they were shit in the bed. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to show up. I gave them some minimum dimensions, and they said they will see what they got. Okay. That'll be a fun experiment. Do you ever stream any woodworking, or is that... I was going to say something you'd rather keep private, but I understand with hobby stuff, like sometimes you just want to do it for the love of the game, and you're not trying to turn it into content. Yeah, that's cringe. You mean what I'm doing? Turning my hobbies into content? I'll have you know I made a whole set when? When we get to the set? Well, we're going to put in new switches on this first ratio, and then we're putting them on this board. So I don't know as soon as I'm done with that part. Just kidding. Oh, I know you're kidding. I don't have an exact time estimate, but I can try to zip through this and get to the keycaps for you. I know you've got other stuff going on, so I appreciate you popping in. I can Would you like? I can just ping you on Discord or something when we're gonna open up the keycaps if you want, and then you could just like do something else. Be with your family, eat some food. Listen, guys. Oh, when am I designing my key set? I am designing 2 at the moment. Early stages. Well, 1 is further along because it has a lot more visual things to base off. Or like, I know more what I want to do with it, and it's for a very specific use case. It's like a one-off Yuzu set for one board in particular. But I have an idea for a larger set. And I have an idea for like child kits and stuff too, or like extra things, but I need, there's a lot of visual research I need to do first, which is what's taking a little bit longer right now. There's a lot of government issued documentation that I need to look at. I'll say that. But I have started doing a little bit of color sampling in my head, and like with some stock GMK stuff that I have. Whoops. But right now it's mostly, and I can visualize it in my head. I have not put down much to paper or to illustration yet. I also have a big list in my notes app of much more broad ideas that aren't super cohesive yet, but there's like a certain term or a certain niche interest area type of thing that I think would work well. Hit me up, happy to share all I know using Figma components. That would be, I mean, some templating and stuff would be absolutely rad. I'm currently actually, I haven't dove headlong into the keycap stuff yet because I am working on some graphical assets right now for my keyboard event in October, and that's kind of taken precedence since it is sooner. Which has been fun because like for some of the bits to go with that, I'm actually making like little componentized pixely versions of every single keyboard layout that I have that I'll be using for like posters and cards and other stuff. So, are you familiar with DCZ Glyph? I was trying to make a Yuzu kit with that because my friend was a contributor. Should return to that idea. I don't think I know that. Time to sign off work or do homework, family dinner time. Thanks for being here, Reggie. I really appreciate it. I've been doing it every week at this time on Tuesdays. But I know that's rough for a lot of people because it's also not always conducive to tuning in for some time zones and people have dinner and family stuff and whatever else. Sounds awesome. Can't wait to see what you're cooking up. We'll see. Ideas are cheap. It's the execution that really makes the difference. So we'll see. The one that I'm thinking about, I'm actually considering doing like the bigger one that I am further along thinking about and have written notes about. I'm actually thinking of doing it in DCS. Because I think that the typeface, the stock Gorton typeface, would actually suit it very well. But then there's the side of me that also wants to go like, I want to go full UV print everything, custom everything, and do like, try to get it on GMK or something. It was a big collaborative font set where each letter symbol was designed by a different designer. Oh yeah! I didn't remember the name, but I do remember that project. As I knew some of the folks who contributed to that. Right, yeah, the fundraiser for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund. That's right. That'd be a fun keyboard. Is that what you're thinking? Each letter a different one. One of my friends did the L. I guess they didn't put them all on Instagram, did they? They kind of petered out. That's cool. I'll have to look at that more later. All right, let's dig back into this. Shouldn't need a plate fork here because we got that plate foam. Don't think you can buy it anymore. It was really supposed to be a limited time, but I have the files if you ever want to look at them. Oh, that's right. I forgot it was. Yeah, for the fundraiser. Yeah, I would love to sometime. Yeah, I do have another more typographic set that would have to be UV printed. That I have in mind. That I have an idea, but it would be a lot of vector drawing, which I love, but I just haven't sat down to flesh that out further. I feel like I'm just now getting my creative juice back after burning myself out getting ready for a design workshop last fall that I ran in Brooklyn for Creative Works East. And I just kind of ran myself ragged getting that thing ready and working on it way too much. And did not want to make anything for a long, long time after that, which was kind of a bummer because I was teaching people about making icons. And then after that, I was like, I don't want to do shit. Favorite version of Plastic Love? Yeah. It's very good. This is the, like a city pop-ish playlist I put together in Apple Music based off of a couple DJ sets and streams that I've watched on YouTube, and then like took all the stuff they'd recommended and threw it into Apple Music for myself. This one is sideways, or east facing. And is that right? I just have to not accidentally put in the arrow cluster over here. Which is a while that you can do the same layout with the same plate and all. What you doing here, Switch? Oh, does it go this way? Oh. The PE foam lied to me. It had holes in the other place. What's that about, PE foam? So imagine this one is similar. Yep. West facing. Let's see, I think must be... I think these ones are... Is that right? I think those are evenly spaced. There's so many holes over here. I think I got that one. That one's sorted for the layout we want. Never mind. Not a notification I need. Well, I think Bowl just went live, so maybe we'll have someone to raid after. Unless he builds at his normal speed. I don't know what he's doing today. Let's see. Oh, that won't tell me. I did really love the look of the oblique and thought about getting one, but I gotta save my pennies for the Cloud 9. Same reason I didn't, or haven't gone in on the Cosmic Sands. Also, I would have to figure the soldering part of it out, or send it off to somebody. Although I did think about going ahead and getting it, and then waiting until Gorp comes out, and then sending it and Gorp to Extra Prius, and having him solder it for me with his own keycap set. But we do not have the funds right now. Wanted Lily so bad. Oh yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Decided against it? Yeah. You gotta make those wise fiscal decisions. Starting a new job in a little under 2 weeks. Comes with a pay bump, so should be good for Cloud 9. Very nice! Congrats. But I'm going to New York in October, so it'd be very naughty to get Lily. I'm going to New York on Friday, which I'm very excited about. Hell yeah. Leaving Friday, coming back Sunday. Yeah, it was funny. I had been to New York in the early 2000s. 2001 actually, but in the spring. Because my band performed at Carnegie Hall, my high school band. I was still in middle school at the time, but I went along because my dad was the band teacher. And I hadn't been back to New York from then until last fall when I taught that workshop. And now now it'll be, like this week will be my third time in New York in like a year. So it was like last October, went in January with my family, and then I'm going again. So it's like stayed away for 23 years and then went back 3 times. There we go. How are we looking here on this foam? Make sure we're not getting too funky. Haven't been since 2022. You're excited? Awesome. It is a lot of fun. And I'm much more looking forward to this because it's not going to be cold as balls like it was in January. Like we were there in like the coldest part of January. It was like sub-zero. And like us and our little kid and like running around. It was still fun, but whew. And we took the train. Like we drove across Ontario to Buffalo and then took Amtrak from there to the city. and you know the train pulls in and it is just like frozen shut, and the porters have to come and like get crowbars and like chisel the doors out so that people can get on the train at Buffalo. Try to dodge the winter and summer when I go. Yeah. Yeah, deathly hot. I have a buddy who lives in Brooklyn, and so he tells me the stories, the weather stories. Like when the subway floods, and when it's deathly hot. And all that kind of stuff. All right. Beautiful. Let's get this in the case. And then we can get to the best part. The keycaps. Ugh. I need to, like, get a couple of these and start exercising with them. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to do this without the bottom foam. So I had this wrapped around like this and then kind of tucked up, I think. And then into the board. It took one time when going down the subway stations when it was over 80 degrees for me to go yell. I'm sure it smelled wonderful. The combination of garbage and people and all of that. Okay. So I think first we'll make sure that we get the gaskets seated. I remember I kind of had to pull it a little bit to make sure that these, they are quite snug. I think I also, it wasn't this. Oh, there's a little dead bug on my desk. Gets so humid down there, zero breeze. Oh yeah, I know. Like the only respite was like when there was a train coming down the tunnel and you could like get some of that. And like even that wasn't like cool, but at least it was something. What is going on with the foam over there? I wonder if I can pinch it and pull it with a little bit of tweezer. A little bit of tweezer action over here. Just don't want to get too compressed with anything over here. Oh, this is just kind of a loose piece. So adjust to the attached end. There we go. See if we can do the same with this one. Sweet. There we go. No undue compression, I don't think. All right, let's take our old top frame out of here. And our lovely yellow. And make sure that the ribbon cable is going to play ball. I like that blue and yellow together too. Start with the sides. How long are you going to be in New York when you go? I'll only be there like one full day on this trip, and that's kind of a bummer, but I couldn't spare more time than that. And it's just for one event anyway, so. Going to New York City for 6 days and going to Chicago right before I leave, and Detroit right after I get back. Nice! Hitting up a bunch of the great eastern cities. I'll be going to Chicago in November, which will probably also be too cold. But that's a family trip. I've never been into Detroit proper, which I know is probably scandalous to say as a Michigander. But I've definitely been to like some of the suburbs and outskirts. I've been by Detroit plenty of times, like passing by it. But I do really want to go into Detroit itself. But I like never had family over there. Be right back, bedtime story time. Alright. See you soon, bud. Yeah, I know. There's so much, like I have a big list of stuff I want to do and see. But, like growing up, never had a reason to go over there. And now that I've moved back to Michigan, I want to go. Wah! That's crazy. Detroit is awesome. I mean, I've heard that plenty. And like, I've heard lots from like my wife, because she used to go to Detroit a lot when she was in college for like, because she's an art major and art teacher. And so like going to the art museums and stuff over there and everything else. I want to go. So if you got some recommendations, I'd love to hear them. Shoot me a list or something. Would love to. It's on the list of things to do in the next few years, to take a trip over there with the fam or something. All right. Well, let's see. Horatio just stepped out, but I feel like I should wait a little bit to go over keycaps. But maybe we can try a prediction thing. I haven't done a ton of sightseeing type stuff. I usually go in for like concerts or cons. That's fair. That makes sense. So how do we do a prediction? Let me try this. What do people normally do when they do the GMK predictions for this? Like, will the keycaps be straight? Or F to all to hell? We'll do, will the keycaps be fucked? Yes or no? And go. Prediction started. So we'll let those that run for a second. And I'll go ahead and take the shrink wrap off. Carefully. I don't want to alter the outcome. Okay, what do we get? 100% yes. You're the only one who participates in these things. All right, well, let's see. We'll go row by row and see. And maybe should we only count the top tray? Now we'll see. We'll see what we got. Oh, yeah, I forgot they're doing these little cards now. I'm either going to get my money back or lose it all for nothing. Nah, for the love of the game. These nice little cards now that have a little holographic, like, stamp. Dankeschön. We're truly grateful you chose GMK and honored to have you as part of our community. This premium product was created with exceptional attention to detail, bringing quality and precision to your setup. Being part of your journey means the world to us, your GMK team. I wonder if people will start requiring these, like now that they're doing this with GMK sets, like on resale, like will it be more valuable if people are like, I want the card with the set. All right, let's look. Are we ready? Well, we'll zoom in. All right, abstract, here we go. Oh, that row looks good. Looking good. Oh, okay, they're still all in order. I think that counts as not fucked. We'll straighten it out a little bit, but I think we're still good. Nothing is so jumbled or overlapping yet. But damn, this is looking good. That's a warmer cream than I thought. That's a nice shade. I don't know. It's kind of sideways. Let's keep going. Yeesh. Okay, it's not terrible. I think if everything is still in its original order... Okay. Let's look at... Ooh. I don't know, man. It's not too jumbled. I would say with this row, though, that's enough to say yes. Shake test. Hello, Kim Jong. Kim Jong-uu. Let's just straighten these out a sec. Alright. So generous of you to refund me. Listen. It's the least I could do. Like, literally, it's the least. That ISO is so beautiful. Let's just take a second to appreciate this, like the UV print quality. That is so nice. Losing your money isn't as fun when it's not going to someone else. Yeah. Oh, I like this form, superb, abstract, function. Those are fun mods. So this is the primary set. Here, let's go back out a second. Not that far. There we go. Big fan of doing the least I can do. You and me both, brother. These are really cool. Q. I love a lot of these little symbols. I. Oh, I wonder. The letter I kind of has a closed eye. P kind of has like perfect. Oh no, that's O. Never mind. Okay. P is like a little P. We got some stars. We got the Triforce. There's like a little bit of wings or something. Like the Z and X and C are all kind of like there. Mountains. So it's fun because, yeah, it is abstract. You can like assign meaning to some of this stuff if you really want to and see patterns in it. But it can kind of do whatever. Sublegends, just some aesthetic wingdings. Well, when Horatio comes back, you can ask him. He designed this. But some of it is meant to be abstract. Some of it can be representational or assigned meaning. Oh, this one was upside down. Yeah, you definitely deserved your money back, Tyler. So So you can read into it if you want to. There's definitely some connections that can be made between stuff. It's mostly for aesthetic purposes. Welcome back, Frederick. We're just looking at the keycaps. We just cracked them open. Sup, art. Yeah, these are really nice. And I think the yellow's a little more orangey, but I think it's still going to work well with this inner frame. Wingdings wish they could be this cool. Agreed. So let's dig in. Let's start putting some of these on. And I get to use some of this other fun numpad stuff. So let's actually do some numpad first. We got 7. The 8 is kind of the shape of an 8. A little bit of an hourglass. So just like with a lot of art, it's kind of what you bring to it combined with the artist's intent. Oh wait, I started too high. I messed up already, damn it! I got too excited. I don't do numpads very often. Although we definitely will do one if they ever ship PBS aperture priority to me. I can finally put that on my monospace. You bring autism to art. Full. Oh, this is kind of fun too. So that looks to me like on this alternate enter, like ABS for either the keycap material or for abstract. Just kind of a fun little nod. May end up using that one, we'll see. Man, I am liking those classic blues in there. And the top of the numpad. Although I do kind of, there's part of me that really does regret not having a function row to put some of these on. Of course, maybe they could be the numbers. Would that completely aggravate me? I don't know. We'll save the XT column for last because that'll be fun. Let's go ahead and do our stepped caps, if I can get it. Let's put these up here so we can still take a look at them. A little painter's palette. So we have a lot of those options. Let's start with, do that for that. You know what some of this feels to me like? It almost feels a little bit like noir, like some of the same design language of noir and creme. Like a lot of that sort of geometric stuff, but it's like it's become colorized. So this is the Wizard of Oz of creme and noir a little bit. pipe in row 1. This is not row 1. Yeah, we were talking about some of the meaning of and some of the connections and stuff a second ago. Oh, there it is. There's the row 1 pipe. It was just in the first tray. Like noticing some of the like OK, the I, target. Like that looks like a little exclamation point for the E. Like a little bit down there. Some of them are direct, like Q, X, C, and Z are all pretty similar. This kind of looks like a B, like a bumblebee on the B. The V shape, you know. Mountains. It's fun. It's fun stuff. What was I doing? This. Ooh. It's got a nice sound to it with the bottom foam removed. Let's see, is this considered a shift? I believe it is. Yeah, that shift is tough to get to sound good. And we'll need something next to it for function, but I don't know which of these I want to save for the XT columns. We'll come back to that. Let's see, it's darker out now. I could probably turn my lights back up now that the sun isn't blazing into my office. There we go. I've forgotten to do that the last couple times, and then it ends up super dark at the end of the stream. All right, so what is the little backspace like? No scoops. Get out of here. Don't like you. Well, it's nice that the Bard and Scoop have a different color sublegend. It's the same form, but a different color. Nice little touch. That is deep. So need something. That key does not sound great, but I think that's just the way that the way it has to sit. There's a big cutout around it. We'll deal with it. So we've got, now these ones won't fit because this is a 7U, but we've got abstract, we've got color, we've got form, we've got art, sup, Art color, shape, 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 shape. And there's also, oh, this is the same width as that, isn't it? So figure out what to do with our bottom row. Could also throw some of those down there if we want to, but yeah, I will have to put these back on a board with an F row sometime so I can actually use a lot of these. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do abstract here. Green, or let's do green on the left. Get our 7U out. And now we got some rattle with this new spacebar. Let's address that later on. So do form. Or do I want to do form on one side and color on the other side? Yes. So we'll do sup or art in between is the question. One of each. So we got cooler, warmer. So let's do blue with the coolers and kind of this lavender periwinkle-ish on over here with the warmer one. And we'll need one row 4 capped back for this. Which that could be art, couldn't it? Let's do an art over there, maybe. Although we do have function. Or is that too boring? Those are fun. Man, these are just so fun. This one is really cool. I wonder if I want that as my escape. Let's do that. So let's set this aside for a second. I can see a little bit better. Look at all our options. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So our row 4 options. Let's get them laid out. So these are row 4. 1, 1, 1. 1. These are 4. Man, my arms look weird coming into frame. I feel like I'm a giant crab or something. Man, there's so many good row 1 options. This is row 3. These look like row 2. Row 4, row 2. These are row 4. These are all row 1. Row 1, row 3. One. Oops. 3. And 1, 1. Whew. Ooh. It's a lot of options. Not so much with rows 2 and 3, but we are spoiled for choice with the rest. Beautiful. So maybe I will... No, I'd want to do one of the UV printed ones over here, I think. Kind of keep that functional block, all one stylistic thing. So we don't have as many choices with 2, 3, but then 4 and 4 at the bottom, and 1 at the top. Let me look at something as an idea. Let's skip this song. I cannot spell. There we go. Oh, I was hoping there might be some photos that were taken with XT columns, just as an inspiration for what to put where, but no such luck. All right, it's up to me. So I think we'll do... I just realized this has the same... or similar one to that. So you could do... and is that A in there too? So you could do ABS. Kind of like that other enter. Don't know how that would line up on anything, but... So maybe we'll do... maybe we'll limit ourselves to fewer colors over here. Like not as many multicolored ones. We move some of those aside. Maybe 2 would be the max. There's only one of these that is only one color on it. But that might be kind of fun, doing a couple little arrows or something. And we've kind of got 2 greens and 2 pinks already kind of going. So let's shunt this one over. Oh wait, I need 2 row 4s, that's right. 2 rows of row 4. Oh wait, I screwed that up. Can you tell? I have trouble telling rows apart. There we go. Row 2. That's what I meant to do. And then for 4, we could just keep all the arrows kind of going. Or we could do... that's going to be too close to each other. So let's keep the arrow train rolling with those. And then for row 1, something, so we could do something warm. And something cool. Which might kind of naturally lead the eye into these circles. That's fun. All right, now I gotta decide what to put over here. Which can be a row 4 situation. Could just do a block. Be very straightforward. Function. Actually, that is kind of fun having a function key above form. Form and function. This is a fun side ratio. I do kind of like that being an echo of the escape. Let's do that. We do got some rattle going, don't we? Did that happen during shifting things around, or is that just recent? Let me grab the lube, see if we can patch that up right now. I think that's the syringe I want to use. Yep. Let's see, got a little bit right there. And let me lube the sides slightly. Although I am almost out of time. And I gotta scoot in the next few minutes. So actually we'll forgo that. We'll forgo that level of the lube. And see if this will help with anything. Looking good, thank you. Still getting some rattle over there, but I might have to address that afterwards. Let me pause this. A little hollow on the right over here. Without that foam in the bottom. Yeah, it's deep. Like it's already a large cavernous space, adding in, you know, these switches, which I think are largely palm, if I'm not mistaken, which always kind of has that effect. Let's see. NK Classic Blue. Palm. I guess it's only partly palm. Stem is palm. The rest is nylon. Never mind. But yeah, it's got some of that. Yeah, especially here, where there isn't anything breaking anything up. You know, immediately to the right, you know, this cavern kind of opens up right here. So I may need to play with the foam a little bit, maybe reinsert it in the bottom and see how I feel, but... and retune up that side of the spacebar, but... I do dig it, though. I'm glad you like it, though, Horatio. This is a really fun set. And I knew once I saw that it came with enough novelties to fill out the double XT column. It would be a good fit for this. Awesome. I do want to play with the acoustics a little bit more. Because especially when I have this on a table at the keyboard event in October, it won't have a desk pad either, so I imagine this is going to be... Actually, I'm really curious. Let's carefully scoot these and flip this over. Pause the music again. It's just like hanging out on a table. Yeah, well, the dummy side of the spacebar especially is a problem acoustically right now, but... The yellow is perfect. Oh, sweet! I'm glad you like it. I think it turned out to be a really good match. Your yellow on the print has a little more orange in it, but I think it works out really well. And I think it also helps because this is a very different beige. Like this has more creamy beige in it, and so I think the yellow is a nice chromatic buffer between the two to kind of bridge that gap. Like this is warmer than this, but I think it still all works together. Would it be okay to bring desk masks to the factory thing, or is there not really space for them? Yeah, we could. I mean, as much as we can fill up that big conference table. I was planning on, bringing a couple at least, but there wouldn't be enough for every board. But all but one of my boards have feet on them, so it's not a problem. Yeah, that is deep. I have like 4 in a magic playmat. Nice. Feel free to bring whatever you want to put your boards on. And you too, Frederick. Wonder if we've built the petrichor by then. So I've built in a couple deeper ones now for the stream because this, and then the foundation. Also turned out on the deeper side when we built that one. Which is nice because that's not been my typical MO over the last few months. They've been brighter and clackier for the most part, but it's kind of nice exploring a little bit more of this kind of sound. This one even more so. I do like this sound a little bit more, so I might try to tune this up. Maybe... I might play with foam more. Maybe it's taking out the play foam, putting the bottom foam back in. We'll see. But that is the time I have for today, because this went longer a little bit than I had anticipated. But... we should switch out the tilde for a Novelty 2 balance. Oh, good call. We can do that. Got plenty. Ah, jeez. Got plenty of row 1 options. Get back in there. Let's see. What would be a good... bring all these buddies back over. So if we want to balance, we've got 9 circles over there. We'll do one of these circular ones. That, or the pink target is kind of cool. Triangle, diamond. Maybe we'll keep it with the circular theme. Although we do have that right below. Never mind. We will do a circle, but we'll do it for half circles. No, we'll do pink. Nice little pink. Good call on that one. Nice. The set was designed over a year ago and Targo is still cool. Yep. I will not be boycotting this keycap set. Masters and I, we live in Meyer neck of the woods. That's our domain. We're the home of Meyer, so that's the big competition. And Walmart, of course, but they're everywhere. Awesome. All right, I gotta sign off, but I will tune this up more. And we won't be doing a stream on Tuesday next week because I have D&D that night, and that takes precedence. But I'll see if I can stream at some point during the week on a different day than usual. But can't imagine the Meyer family has the best politics either. You're probably right. I think more kindly on them just because they did the Frederick Meyer Gardens, and it's one of my favorite places in the city. But they also owned a giant business, and that probably means they're bad. So, you were right. That was awesome to try to catch the next one. Thanks, man. I'm usually not quite as rushed at the end, but I'm on a certain time frame, as you can imagine. I need to help get the kid to bed. So, thank you all so much for being here. I will post next week if I stream. If not, we'll be back the week after doing something. Maybe by then we'll be building the petrichor. But I think, who is streaming right now? Is Bull still streaming? Oh, I can't use this keyboard yet. I do love how this looks on here. Oh yeah, Bull's still streaming. Yeah, so we'll do Bull. Raid. How do I do this? There we go. Thanks for being here, Ratio. I really appreciate it.